Maybe you're experiencing a lot of lack. Maybe you don't have any money. You keep having like negative money situations happen. Your car breaks down, you get kicked out of your apartment, all of these things, right? The universe is showing you what's going on inside. And so instead of trying to fix everything externally, that's trying to fix everything on a very superficial level, right? Let's go deep, let's go within, let's figure out what inside of me is manifesting this. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? My name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel where we talk about everything positive mindset, personal development, and just creating a version of yourself in a life that you love. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about why bad things happen from a spiritual perspective, because everything truly does happen for a reason. If you like what you hear today, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up to help out the channel. Feel free to subscribe if you wanna see more stuff like this. And without further ado, let's get into it. Now, these bad things may happen in our life to really teach us, to allow us to expand. That is the whole purpose that we are on earth, is to grow, is to expand, is to learn, to experience. And if we are stuck in our comfort zone and we're refusing to step out of it, we're refusing to grow, the universe is going to give us situations to almost like require us to grow, because that's why we came here in the first place. The universe isn't really going to like let you to just sit in peace, sit in the same circumstance without growing. Now, what most of us end up getting stuck doing is seeing these bad things happen and then getting stuck in victim mode, thinking, oh, like life is happening to me, I'm helpless, my life sucks, blah, blah, blah. And we don't end up growing from the situation because we don't ever learn the lesson from it. We just get in victim mode and we almost like shrink smaller. But the universe is going to keep showing you, keep giving you opportunities to grow. And it's your choice to take that opportunity to grow from it. This is why some of the most successful people have like the rags to riches type story, because they go through all of these bad things, through the pain, and they end up growing from it. And because they chose the opportunity to grow instead of being in a victim mode, they really like blossomed into a very successful person with a good head on their shoulders, such as Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins. These people had these like bad circumstances and they chose to grow from it. This is like the positive example from this. And so when these quote unquote bad things do happen, what you want to do is ask yourself, what lesson can I learn from this? What is this trying to teach me? If your boundaries are constantly being crossed, if you're constantly being taken advantage of, what is the universe trying to teach you? Most likely to stand up for yourself, to have stronger self-worth, to have more confidence in yourself. It's trying to mold you into the most ideal version of yourself. But if you keep playing like the woe is me role, that stuff is just going to keep happening to you, because the universe is going to keep showing you those lessons over and over and over again until you gain the wisdom that is trying to teach you. And so be very mindful, be very aware of the patterns you see in your life. Are you being constantly taken advantage of? What bad things are like patterned in your life? And in these patterns, you can find what the universe is trying to teach you, what lesson you need to be learning. And I say bad in quotes because nothing is really inherently bad. Nothing really has meaning but the meaning we give it. And I want to add to this by saying, if we label something as bad, as a negative circumstance, as something that's like really horrible that happened, it is going to play out as something horrible. We create the storyline. And so instead of perceiving it as something that's so inherently bad and negative, start to see it as an opportunity to grow. Start to see it as a blessing. Thank you for having this person overcross my boundaries so that I can strengthen as a person and show myself the love and respect that I've been needing to show myself for however many years. Thank you, universe, for making me sick as a wake-up call to take better care of my body so I can learn how to properly nourish and take care of this body that I am in this lifetime. Start to see everything as an opportunity, as a lesson, as a positive thing. And when you do start to see it as a positive thing, it will become a positive opportunity for you. It will play out positively in your life when you view it as that way. The universe is also always constantly showing us what energy we're in, what we need to work on. And it does this through manifestation, through law of attraction. We are constantly manifesting 24/7. And so whatever is in your external reality is showing you what's going on internally. So if you are experiencing a lot of chaos, a lot of bad things happening, maybe you're experiencing a lot of lack, maybe you don't have any money, you keep having like negative money situations happen, your car breaks down, you get kicked out of your apartment, all of these things, right? The universe is showing you what's going on inside. And so instead of trying to fix everything externally, that's trying to fix everything on a very superficial level, right? Let's go deep, let's go within, let's figure out what inside of me is manifesting this. How can I create more peace inside of me? How can I forgive and let go of these people that have hurt me in the past that I'm still holding on to the bitter and resentment from, that's causing more chaotic relationships to manifest in my life? How can I tap into more of my true abundance so I can stop manifesting all of this lack? And really take your time with this. If you don't spend the time to sit back, to observe, to reflect, you're going to be stuck in tunnel vision mode where you aren't going to be able to see where you're going. You're going to feel very stuck in life. It's going to be like a mouse in a maze, only seeing the brick walls in front of you. But when you take a step back to observe and reflect of what's really going on from an outside perspective, why do I keep manifesting these bad situations? What lesson am I not learning? Why does this pattern keep repeating over and over again in my life? When you take yourself out, when you look from above and you can look down at the maze and see what's going on, you can then say, oh look, I just need to take a left here, take a right there, and then I'll be out of this cycle. So if you're feeling stuck manifesting the same repeated patterns, or if you have manifested something quote unquote bad happening in your life that's really affecting you, take a step back and maybe journal it out. Journaling is a really great way to get all of your thoughts onto paper, and you really gain so much clarity through just writing out all of your thoughts, and you start to get responses because deep down somewhere in you, your soul knows what you need to do to get through this, to get past this. And so when you journal and you really start to like get in the flow with it, you'll start to naturally find the answers and see the lessons that you've needed to learn. Because if you try to ignore the problem or just try to fix the problem on a superficial level, you're going to notice that it's going to keep coming up in your life. The only way out is through. We need to move through these things, work through these things. And they may seem really tough in the moment. I'm not saying that it's not like a tough situation that you're in. And this video got inspired by a very humbling situation that also happened with me. But it's important to know that every situation in your life, anything that comes up in your life is never happening to you. It is always happening for you. Whether a boyfriend that you thought you were going to end up marrying breaks up with you, it's probably because there's someone so much better for you on the other side. If this really terrifying thing happens to you, it's probably to strengthen you. For me, I had a very humbling past, and I used to always say that my life was like a series of unfortunate events. And I always used to say that bad things would happen to me. Life is always happening to me. But now that I've been able to heal through those things, which by the way, you can heal through these bad things that may have happened to you. The universe, God, whatever, did not give you these situations that you aren't able to heal from. But when I have been able to heal from them and to learn my lessons through them, I'm actually incredibly grateful for the very humbling past that I've had, because without my past, I wouldn't have the wisdom I do now. I wouldn't be as strong as I am now. I wouldn't most likely respect myself and have the love for myself and the strong boundaries for myself as I do now. My extremely humbling past has molded me into the most ideal version of myself, who is just continuing to grow and expand because I chose to eventually see those as opportunities to heal and to grow stronger. And yes, I was in a victim mode for many, many, many years, but it wasn't until I took 100% responsibility for my life, for the way that I was, where I was like, you know what? These bad things that happened, it sucked, right? But what am I going to do about it? And that's when I was able to turn those negative circumstances into lessons and wisdom and strength and power. And you can transmute that into love. You can transmute that into all of these positive things. And I also want to say too that things don't have to get really, really bad for you to grow. Oftentimes things end up getting really, really bad because we really ignore the signs. Most of us aren't taught how to listen to our intuitions. And so we don't recognize the signs when we see them. The universe, if it's trying to teach you a lesson, it will show you once in a very subtle way. And if you ignore it, if you don't notice it, if you don't learn the lesson, if you try to go around it, the universe will then bring you another circumstance in a little louder way. And if you try to ignore that, go around it, or fix it on a superficial level, the universe will get a little louder and it'll give you a circumstance that's even more a little bit in your face. And then it'll just compound and get worse and worse, because the universe is like, you're going to learn this lesson. That's why you came here. Your soul made a contract to learn a specific lesson. Now, you chose the lessons that you were going to learn in this lifetime before you got here, but you did not choose how you were going to learn the lessons, in what ways you're going to learn the lessons. And the universe will just continue to be louder and louder and be more in your face until you choose to grow from it. And this is oftentimes when people hit a rock bottom and they're like laying in despair and they're like, okay, I either have to literally change or my life is really going to be extremely miserable. And this is the point that I got to. I got to like a really rock bottom where I decided to, okay, like something has to change. I cannot stay like this. And that's when I was able to create that opportunity and grow and learn from the experiences. But you don't have to hit rock bottom. You don't have to let things get so bad. So really start to pay attention and to become more aware of what's going on in your life. Spend time just meditating in the morning. And meditating it's not necessarily just sitting in a yogi position and just like trying to silence your mind, right? Like we're always going to be thinking, there's always going to be thoughts in our minds, but meditation is really listening. Instead of having input with your own thoughts, meditation is really just listening to your body, to your soul, to any messages that may be coming to you. And when you take that time to meditate, you will start to see like the subtle nudges of what you can be doing to be proactive. And when we are proactive, these bad things don't have to keep happening in our lives, because we will learn the lessons like at the beginning. We won't have to see it again and again and again and again until it gets extremely bad, where we literally have to make the change. We can be proactive and see the subtle shifts we need to make from the beginning, from the get-go, so that we can continue to grow and expand. Things only really get bad when we keep ignoring the messages. And again, it's really, really beneficial for you to perceive these events, these circumstances, whatever, no matter how bad it may seem, to perceive it in a way of, I know this seems so bad, but I know there is a positive outcome to it. I know this is working for me. No matter how awful it seems right now, I know in some way, shape, or form, this is working for me, in my favor, to strengthen me, to grow me, to expand me. And when you choose to have that perspective, you will grow, you will expand, you will learn the lessons. It may take a little while. And also, I really want to note, to make sure you integrate the lessons that you are learning. If you do not integrate the lessons that you're learning, then you haven't really learned them. And the universe is going to continue to keep showing you that same circumstance to teach you that same lesson until you integrate it, meaning like you start to live by that lesson. So again, back to the example of, say that people are always taking advantage of you. You always have boyfriends that cheat on you, or you always have friends that like backstab you, or you have people that take your kindness for granted and they're walking all over you. If you reflect on it and you realize that the universe is really trying to teach you your self-worth and your confidence and creating strong boundaries and standing up for yourself, and you logically know that's what you need to do, but then the universe is going to give you an opportunity to implement that lesson. And so they might show you another person that is going to see that you have a kind, sweet soul and say, hey, can you do this for me and that for me and that for me? And really take advantage of your kindness. And you don't put up those boundaries. You don't say no for yourself. You still are like that too nice person, and you end up draining your energy all over again for somebody else just to please somebody else. Then you're not integrating the lesson, you're not learning it. And the universe is going to keep bringing you people that are going to take advantage of you so that you can integrate those lessons. So make sure that you're really integrating them. Make sure when you learn the lesson, like logically, when you understand like, okay, this is what I need to do, this is how I should be showing up in life, get really detailed when you journal it out. In what ways can I embody this lesson? In what ways can I integrate this lesson into my life, into my everyday? Where does this lesson keep showing up, and what specific people and what circumstances? How can I act differently? How can I talk differently? How can I be differently? And when you really start to integrate that, it takes some time to integrate. It's a new way of being, right? To integrate these new lessons. But when you start being this person and integrating those lessons, and you can see, you can notice, okay, I'm seeing this person trying to take advantage of me. I'm noticing that this is just another test from the universe to see if I've learned my lesson or not. Let me prove to myself and the universe, and let me prove to God that I have learned this lesson, that I have strengthened, that I have learned the wisdom I needed to from this, and I can move on to the next chapter. I can move on to the next level. This is when you up level. You move on to the next level of life because you've learned the lesson, you've passed it. But this is really why these inherently bad things happen, to strengthen you, to grow you, to up level you. So take it as an opportunity and grow from it. Which, by the way, guys, if you are someone who struggles with a lot of chaos in your life, a lot of stress, and you want to shift that, you want to change that, I am coming out with a course called Master Your Emotions that teaches you how to retrain who you are emotionally so that you can experience more inner peace, ease, and fulfillment. And if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below. But that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Feel free to share this video with anyone you feel want to hear it. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I am pretty active on there, and I love hearing back from you guys in my DMs. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.